Welcome. This is our 299th episode. It's an encore. And I remember having Fallon on. This has got to be 136, give or take. So there's been many moons since I've seen her. And what we're about to engage in, I was a little bit more than a glimmer in her eye then. And I've just seen it develop and incubate, and very innovative. And it's called the Apprenticeship. She's the Apprenticeship Jedi. Founder of Revive Day Spa, Aberdeen, South Dakota. And she's been, if you look at the stats, she's in the game big time. Her sales in 2020, just under 900. 2021, just under 1.2. And she is trending to do about 1.5 in 2022. In 2021, God, I can't talk this out loud. In 2021, it was 1.175, and in 2022, she is trending to do $1.5 million. There's some stats I love. She's 30 something, and her average ticket's around just under $95. Her rebook is running at 56%, and I said to her, "Gee, your RTS is." It's off the charts. She said, no, it's usually north of 40 and it hangs around 50. So as I said, we'll have a conversation as to what's the nitroglycerin that she's got on that bonfire, right? She will kind of catch us up to her life, but in a nutshell, here's her timeline. She graduates from high school in 2003. She graduates from Northern State University with finance degree, Bachelor of Science, and it goes on management, economics, marketing. She's endorsed coaching. 2008, she purchases a bankrupt spa and flips it to Revive. Buys a piece of property, purchases her building, and 2012 starts Revive Day Spa Apprenticeship Program, 2017. And in 2019, first Revive Day Spa, she graduates her first graduate from the apprenticeship program that she's built. 2021, she begins proposing it to South Dakota legislation to get it passed. She's in a marketplace where schools are it's not like in a lot of states. So this was done in the name of surviving, and now she's thriving with it. And she starts apprenticeship consulting with salon owners this year. I think she's off to something. So you can see that she's in the game big time. If you want to follow her, she gave me her both of her Instagram pages, Revive Day Spa, revive.dayspa on Instagram, and then Fallon Helm on Instagram as well. So if you want to reach out to her, DM her, either with questions or comments, she'd love to entertain that. Also, this is just kind of, you can see her crew. It's growing like crazy. So she's in the game big time. And she's in my green room now. So let me go and get her. And then I'm going to get her talking about apprenticeship, all things apprenticeship, and some of her other secret sauces as well. So here we go. There she is. I'm going to unmute her. You're going to give it up for my friend Fallon, and then we're going to go to work. Hi, Fallon.
Oh.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me today.
Oh, thanks for giving up. I know you got a lot going on. Long time no see.
Yeah. How long has it been? A year or two?
I think if I go back, I think it was either on the back end of 16, maybe 17, and we follow each other on social. But I do remember first time you came for an interview, and that's like interview 136. I'm just started 300. So life happens, huh?
Yeah, it sure does.
Well, I want to, for people that want to really hear the specifics of your story, they can find that on my Summit's YouTube page. I want to get you talking about the apprenticeship program, because last time I saw you, it was a glimmer in your eye, and now it's a real deal. So how would you like to begin that?
Well, I can start with where we started, and that was at a very hopeless place where we had broken models and frustrating hiring procedures and recruiting, and we followed all of the major leaders in the industry as far as consulting and summits. Suggestions, and that was very, very helpful. And like you'd mentioned, it just wasn't enough to keep us full and continuing to move forward. So like I said, through the journey of lots of trial and error, one of my favorite mottos is out of adversity comes opportunity. We just charged forward. In fact, the very first apprentice, Ashley Veen, and Tara Mortland, her instructor, were a huge part of that charge in coming to me and saying, all right, we're going to do this apprenticeship. And nobody had graduated from an apprenticeship in South Dakota for over 20 years. So I looked at them and I said, hey, if you're up for it, I'm up for it. Let's do it.
And this
So that
was when it had to be 2017-ish, 2016.
17. Well, 16 is when we started percolating, for lack
Yeah.
of better words. And then 17 is when we started the program. We had everything approved by the state and started working closely with them to be able to gain their support and endorsement throughout the process. And very glad that we did that. They're very supportive now.
Yeah, and there are pockets in the country where you'll have this, but it's kind of like an off the shelf kind of turnkey. You really out of nothing began building it so that it was something that your brainchild and really was accommodated, built and created and engineered for your vision. So,
Right.
Take us on that journey, like things that you needed to walk through. I remember a couple of conversations with you where when you were taking on an apprentice, there were some times you'd have, I think, a conversation with parents or, so that they could appreciate the value of what you were proposing.
Sure. Yeah. It certainly was very gray in the early days of even it was only 4 years ago, but at the same time it seems, well, now I guess it's about 5 now. We've graduated 9 now, and what it looked like before is as I mentioned, pretty hopeless. Impeccable timing this week. We launched Bay Beauty and Business Education, where you were mentioning the turnkey, the model, and what that looks like for the unfortunate people who don't have an opportunity. Is really our target market for either single, younger moms with not a lot of options to relocate. Also, people who are going to be wanting to stay local in Aberdeen, South Dakota, which is going to be a demographic that's probably not sought after for people to move here and practice, but at the same time poses an incredible opportunity for us to for those people who do want to stay local to have another option in going forward with the education and licensing of cosmetology. As mentioned, we just got that HB law passed last July or 2 Julys ago. And in January, all those programs started: the esthetician program, nail technology, and then the cosmetology. So that kind of got a little bit of an upgrade there as well, giving more opportunities for us to develop into that as well. Over the last 4 or 5 years, we've developed handbooks for instructors, for the apprentice to walk through. Not perfect. We continue to develop every single day. Operationally, it's very tricky, especially in the beginning, not knowing, being the pioneer, if you will. I think that's appropriate for our demographic and where we live, of the industry, and saying we're just going to trial and error and fail our way forward. And that's exactly what we did. Now we've graduated, like I said, 9 apprentices, and we've got 3 different programs now. We've graduated out of every single one of the programs, so it's been successful. Again, not flawless, lots of area for improvement. And this week took on our first 2 salons to be able to teach them the program, which is very, very rewarding.
So there was a whole bunch packed into your last couple of minutes. That really got my attention. 9 graduates, so that's kind of your lineage so far. How many of those graduates are currently at Revive?
4.
And so a couple things that the other 5, if you will, kind of get on to the next chapters of their lives. But the 4 that are in your salon company, How are they doing in their movements and journeys through developing clientele and getting to levels, etc.? When you benchmark that against, the people that you would hire and you didn't have an apprenticeship, you basically had to go out recruiting and begin that process. Have you seen any difference in growth rate or anything worthy of underscoring?
Yeah, I am so glad that you asked that because I would have forgotten to go there, which is really what motivated us in the beginning. And now it's all about sharing and developing it more with others. So, to answer that question, first of all, let me correct myself. We have 5 here, and there's 3 that have either moved out of town or they've they're not in town. And then we do have 1 more in town, which we interview for after the apprentice program. They are not, to answer your question, they are not guaranteed a position. However, we have taught them through the traditional definition of an apprenticeship, hands-on training, what our culture is, what we believe, what we stand for, a salon professional career stylist. And so through that, we are averaging of level 3. We use the Summit scale as far as compensation, and we're averaging a level 3 performance within the first year. Part of our program and prerequisite to be interviewed is that they be performing at level 1. So we've completely cut out the training or even the shadowing and the hiring process because they've already learned all of that in the apprenticeship program.
How many? So if I'm tracking right, from the time they begin the program, you're saying they graduate from the program inside of that first year, they'll get to the 3rd level. Did I hear that right?
Yeah.
And also, how many hours or like what's the window of time to finish and to graduate as an apprentice?
So that's one of the areas that state to state, it's going to be different for the states that do offer apprenticeships. Not all states do. We've done our homework on the United States, and we know the states that are offering apprenticeships and the ones that don't. But that's going to be just like a school. Reciprocity is going to be in full motion there. So depending on what program, if you're doing the full program or if you're doing or what state you're living in will determine the length. We have a requirement. It's a statute that requires them to do 40 hours minimum. And so at that rate, depending on how long the programs are, you would just divide that by the week. So right now we're averaging about 12 to 13 months for the entire cosmetology program, which in South Dakota includes esthetician and nail technology licenses. If you want to do just the nail tech or just the esthetician, you're looking at a shorter program, and then you would just do the math accordingly.
All right. So again, a lot packed into a 1 or a 2 minute share. So if I'm tracking right, 12 to 13 months to go through in South Dakota, the standard. Mm-hmm. And when you say 12 to 13 months, how many hours a week inside of that 12 to 13 month window are they on the clock?
They're required by the state because I have to do weekly time records that get submitted to the state, and They are required by the state to do 40.
40?
Mm-hmm.
So 40 hours a week times 12 months. Let's say 52 weeks and whatever that math is. And and then there's clocking, there's, you follow a protocol, but inside of that, and when somebody is brought on through this, is the process similar where they need to be tested to be licensed, or how's that piece work?
Absolutely. Again, I'm glad that you asked. I just got a message from the last group. We had 4 apprentices, and the last apprentice that went through the program tested today at the state board. So you take your and she passed. So congratulations.
Congratulations. So once they're done, the testing, both written and practical, happens as it does in other states, and then they are licensed, and then they begin with Revive. Now, because they're brought through the apprentice process, do they go from apprentice into a level, or is there an associate protocol that you follow after they're graduated?
We're beta testing that right now, Michael. It's really difficult to keep them in that associate
Yes.
program because they are on steroids in the apprenticeship program. So they're performing and they're doing everything right alongside our instructors,
Right.
and it's difficult. But yes, right now we do require that because it would just be an unfair advantage to anybody else
Wow.
if we would have anybody out from outside the building or outside the.
So how does the money part work when they're doing 40 hours a week for 12 months?
Mhm.
Are they paid? Is there tuition? Like, I'm sure that's a question that would be on people's minds. How's that work?
Yeah, that's a great question. So again, I want to disclose and disclaim every state is different. I am not a financial or a legal advisor, so I'm not going to pretend to be. What we have found in our operation and in what we are doing with the state regulates that they cannot pay us and we cannot pay them. So for the apprenticeship program. So with that being said, and there's so many different approaches to this, where if you look at the value of you would know better than I, what's the average tuition right now?
Oh, it kind of vacillates, but let's just use in the neighborhood of 15,000, give or take, and some goes up to that, and some on this side, again, depending on the city, state, area. So there's that part.
So there's Oh, go ahead.
Well, what I'm curious about is the genesis of this. As I recall, Aberdeen, South Dakota, right?
Hmm.
In your proximity, in your territory, your turf, um, beauty schools are not. It's not like Minneapolis, St. Paul, or where you have a dozen or so schools as a resource. You were very, very, your marketplace was very we'll call it underserved with
Hmm.
regard to adequate in traditional cosmetology entry level, was it not?
It was, and I do want to touch on that point a little bit. I have nothing but, like I said, impeccable timing right now because we launched Babe, and I have 100% credit and gratitude to specifically what you're talking about right now, the schools. T-Spa, the Salon Professional Academy, was a very close and near and dear. It ended up not working out for us, but not only are we 90 miles away from the closest school, it's a tech school. And there's nothing wrong with a tech school. That's just not the model that I was going for. I wanted to make sure with my background, Bachelor of Science in business, that I was teaching, giving them the tools in school to make sure that they could be successful with whatever route they chose, whether they choose to stay with Revive Day Spa or not. I cannot lay my head on a pillow at night knowing that I'm teaching what has shown to be broken model and not giving them the tools to be successful with business. The beauty school dropout rings very clear to me, and I want to make sure that that is not going to be on my tombstone.
Right, right,
So
right. So really, there are again marketplaces, communities, pockets of the U.S. where, like you said, the closest school, as in singular, is 90 miles away, and that makes it, I'm going to call it, ultra challenging. So out of that was I've got to do something to survive, never mind thrive. And this brainchild not only enabled you to have a viable and a sustainable business, but now it's part of your formula for success.
absolutely, and the accountability. They say the best teacher is or the best student is the teacher, right? Now that we're holding that next generation accountable to that level, that standard, that code of honor, we are automatically held to it and reminded of it daily. So naturally, our performance and our standard goes up. Just in being reminded. Again, we're not perfect, so I'm not trying to pretend like we've got a
Right.
perfect operation. We're all human, but I will tell you, because of that accountability, we do perform at a higher level.
So you said that there's now a couple of salons that you're sharing your model with, that you've got this part of your, and are they in your vicinity or are they in marketplaces that are similar to yours? So the need for them is equal to or greater than what your need has been?
Yeah, great question. So I offered 3 spots because it's a new program. And so there is still 1 spot left. We just started it this week. So if anyone is interested, contact me. The other 2 salons that are offering it, one of them is, Mitchell, so 50 miles away from a school. And the other one in Brookings is 40 miles away from a school. But let me go a little deeper, because in South Dakota, like you mentioned, that's one singular school. From us, the next closest school is going to be 250 miles. And then we got another one 400 miles away.
Right.
The 2 salons that I'm currently walking through this process with, one of them is a lash. So the soonest anybody can get into a lash program is 2 years.
Yeah.
And when they get in, they're traveling, they're having to relocate to go to school.
Wow. So here's the other thing that comes to my mind. You've got a team of, in Revive, it looked like 15, 20. Is that about how big your village is now?
Yep.
So inside of that crew, 4 or 5 of them are graduates of your apprenticeship. So once upon a time, your graduates were coming in basically from high school to you, and the rest of your crew has had an opportunity to not only work with and around them, but see them grow. What's their experience take on, what would they say if they were with you this afternoon about what their experience has been to stand witness to this?
The remainder are going to be instructors, and so they are 100%. I mean, I shouldn't say 100%. It's a little bittersweet, because when they see how fast of a track these apprentices are on, and how much faster and better the results and more efficient, it's a little bit of like, oh, you have it so good, and when you don't know any better, or you don't do better, you don't know better, you can't do better. Now,
Right.
the apprentice, the younger ones coming in, they're getting all of these tools and all these resources and the help and the mentorship. That ratios are smaller, student to instructor, and so their results are so much faster. Where we can't help but enjoy it together.
Right.
It does offer the opportunity for the leadership or the instructors to be able to have more comfortable schedules and increased pay. I actually was going to have that ready for you as well. The minimum increase in pay from our instructors last year was 11%. So I'm not really.
So your instructors that are working with apprentices, they in their W-2 went up. What did you say? 11%?
Yeah, it was. I believe it was between. I want to say one of them was up in like 14 or 16, and then I think 7 was the lowest. So
Got it.
It was crazy. It was just nuts. So and all that's worked into the apprentice program.
And really, apprentices are really just that. They're proteges, if you will, of your people that are licensed. And so there's another set of hands, if you will, to support your licensed people to take level up their productivity, their performance. What has been the experiences of your guests?
Again, the apprenticeship program through the state is regulated that we notify, which we absolutely believe in and do. So we're scripted through Summit Scripts and through our own customized scripts, where we offer what's available based on title or level, and apprentice is another one of those levels. So depending on what the beauty budget is, or what the preferred service or experience is that will base where how much information is given. So, and then we also have to have signs posted and prices posted because they're different, just like a level system for the apprentice versus the level style or licensed stylist.
Nice, nice. Well, we're just about to the back end. I usually like to keep it inside of a 30-minute window. Is there any other points that you want to give before we wrap this? I'd love to have you come back for another encore in the next year or so to keep us abreast as to how this is evolving for you, your brand, and your community.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. What a pleasure it is to be on here. And I would love to come back. I would just say, if anybody is looking for any help or support, please let me know if I can help you. And if not me, get support, get help. If there's a way to get to your goal faster, easier, get better results, there's no reason anyone should struggle, and the resources are out there. So whether that be Summit or whether that be Babe or whether that I've worked with other groups as well, and I know that I am so grateful to have the mentorship and have the ones go before me to be able to help me. So I would love to help you, and if not me, please go with somebody.
All right, my friend. Well, I'm going to let you get back to your day. We're going to give it up for Fallon Helm one more time. Godspeed, and we'll be talking soon.
Thanks for having me, Bill.
All right, stay well. All right, well, that very interesting. My take on this is, first of all, the scarcity that there are pockets in the country where this is not. There just is profoundly insufficient, inadequate resource for a salon to be sustainable. And Aberdeen, South Dakota isn't the first city I bumped into. There are pockets, and while those communities are exceptions to the rule, they are they're a marketplace nonetheless. And I think my takeaway is that in the name of just having a business that's sustainable, to embrace the model and make it work for you. I think that people that will be using this will be supreme exceptions to the rule. The rule has been and will continue to be, a licensed cosmetology school. Of course, we have Summit Salon Academy is a Summit's brand, and that continues to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. But in communities like this, one could even make the argument that you should do a Summit Salon Academy inside of a marketplace like that. But that's another conversation. But I want to give it up for Fallon one more time. And you're watching us on Facebook Live on Michael Cole, Millionaire Stylist, and you can also visit Michael Cole Millionaire Stylist on Instagram, and we do Instagram lives there. Very, very different platform. Really pioneering, bringing using Instagram's Reels platform to business ed, and that's been kind of fun to do. So if you like, come and check out that page. We just have some really cool stuff going on there as well. And there's a link tree on that page where we've tried to make goal setting fun, and take some of the math out of goal setting. And so we have fun little gamified calculators called Dream Machine, Magic Day, Golden Goose, Debt Free, and it's all around helping graduates to set income goals, set savings goals, set debt reduction goals, so that over time they've got, really have something substantial to show for their commitment being behind the chair. So I'll let you check that out. I would suggest getting on summitsalon.com and clicking on to the newer site, which is summitsalon365.com. It's where a lot of our production value video courses are. And I have, I believe now, 3 courses that I put on that platform. Summit Salon Business Center continues to grow its consulting group. I think we're in or around 100 and we're over 100. That's what I know. And I don't know of another consulting company in the beauty industry that has resource like that. If you'd like to schedule a virtual consultation, compliments of Summit, call us on our 800 number. You can find that on summitsalon.com. And we'd love the opportunity to just show you what's available. Last but not least, I always end the conversation with showing gratitude for L'Oreal Professional Product Division. Summit Salon Business Center is an exclusive business partner with L'Oreal, and they support Summit in a way that allows Summit to continue to evolve its training and bring content like this to you to kind of, motivate the motivator, mentor the mentor, coach the coach. And there are L'Oreal's brands there. Please support them. Biolized, Pulp Riot, Kerastase, Purology, L'Oreal Professional, Redken, Matrix, and Mazzani. So, but it's a great conversation. Hope you enjoyed it. We will be back on Monday morning for an Instagram live. We do our Instagram live work on Monday, so please come there and we'll pick up where we left off. So have a good one.